Good evening. I wanted to do something different, just to freshen myself up, push myself a little bit. I've just realised, oh no, that's no good. Try that. Yes, what was I saying? I'm sorry, I just realised I was standing into the wind. So I've had a good hunt around, and I found a place not far from my parents. Popped it into Google, popped it into YouTube, didn't come up with anything startling until I came across Owen Clark's video from here. And we're at Snettisham, and we are at what could be described as Death Valley in miniature. Now the tide is all the way out. Low tide was just before 5. There's only 5 hours between low tide and high tide, which I find a little bit odd. I may have miscalculated that, so I haven't got long to start moving and getting some images done. I didn't get off to the best of start because my gimbal's run out of juice. But then again, my gimbal's rubbish, so maybe it's not such a bad thing. There are loads of puddles left by the receding tide, and around the puddle are puddles. Should I start again? There are loads of puddles left by the receding tide, and around the puddles are mud flats that have got lines in them, like bricks almost. I forgot to put my wellies on, so I'm in my white running shoes, and I'm about to get very muddy. I've just wandered out and plonked my tripod down, decided to play safe. I didn't want to put my bag down out there. Come back, put my bag down on the side. I'm going to shoot with a wide angle. It's a case of picking out shapes. That's all I want to do. And I might have to focus stack because I want the foreground to be really prominent. I had hoped it would be drier than it is. It's still quite wet out there, hence why it's like Bambi on ice, because the mud is very, very slick. We've got a reasonable wind coming from that way. It's supposed to be southwesterly, which I find a bit odd because I didn't think we'd get a breeze here at all with southwesterly. And I hoped it would dry off the mudflats a bit more to give that real cracked effect. But I'm not disheartened. I'm going to have a work with this and see what we can get. Now I can't see the tide at the moment. There is in the distance a marker buoy, and I'm going to keep my eye on that because when the tide comes in, that'll be the first thing I see that disappears underwater. Right, let me grab the wide angle. I might pop a 0.6 grad on. I want to be set up for when I go out there, and then I'll just try not to drop everything. See you in a minute. Crikey, the things we do for photography. You might be able to see my footprints. It's not too bad over there. Look how close we get here. I'm moving so gingerly because one step wrong and I'm going to be in the muddy stuff. Anyway, I've kind of found the first-ish composition. The light is still quite harsh. We are a couple of hours off sunset, so another hour and the light should start getting soft, and I'm just conscious of the tide coming in. And I'm hoping another hour of this wind will start to dry off this mud. Because apart from anything else, it makes it an awful lot easier to walk on. Let me flip you around and see if I can show you what I'm shooting. I'm concentrating on this large, it's almost sort of kidney-shaped little inlet and the surrounding muddy stuff. So I've had a go at shooting this one in portrait, and what I didn't notice, in fact looking at it there, you'll probably not notice it either, but when I've got it in camera, because the way the side light's coming in, this line is quite prominent, and bizarrely I've managed to frame up so that that line went into the bottom right hand corner of the image. This place is actually better known, I believe, for a jetty, pier, wooden structure down the far end. But without high tide, without water around it, that holds absolutely no appeal for me whatsoever. Now I came out with a specific image in mind, which is, well, it can be a fairly dodgy thing, because if conditions don't turn out as you need them to, then you're a little bit stuck, and you can end up in a spiral going, oh, I can't do this. Oh God, I can't get any photos. So the name of the game is to try and be flexible. My aim was to shoot with wide angle, focus stack. So I've got front to back sharpness fairly close up so that the foreground was really prominent. But as I've wandered down, I've seen what I think will work really well with the long lens. Completely abstract. I'm not sure if they're low key or high key. They're going to be low key, I think, dark, with flashes in of brightness, which is the water. The sun is at a really awkward angle, but I think the ones that I saw down there, and I'm just trying to check out that buoy. Yeah, I don't think it's underwater yet. It caught me out a little bit when I was here this morning. Did I mention I came for sunrise and it didn't happen? But I did maybe get some images of some type of seabird. I don't know what type of seabird. They're black and white. And if they had been starlings, they would have been murmurating. But they weren't. And I don't know if murmuration is the same phraseology that you use for anything other than a starling. But it was absolutely phenomenal to watch. The noise, thousands of birds, and the shapes that they made. I'm hoping they've turned out. So yes, the name of the game is don't get too hung up on what you wanted to shoot and be prepared to shoot to the conditions. This is not my comfort zone at all. There is little water. I like water, I like long exposures, you know I do. So this is very much out of my comfort zone, and I really don't know if it's going to work or not. But, got to try these things. So I'm going to grab the long lens, I'm going to hand hold these, I'm not even going to put them on the tripod. Using the tripod is just a habit that I've got into, even when I don't really need to use the tripod. And I'd hoped we were going to get some sunset colour. A few fluffy white clouds. No, I'm not going to hold my breath. Right, enough talking. Let's get the camera set up. Oh, I'm trying not to get all my trousers muddy because my feet. Only me. My feet are so covered in mud, it's ridiculous. I don't even think I'm going to need filters on these because I'm not intending to include any of the sky. Excuse me. That's that. Oops, a daisy. Let's put a lens cap on that. Right, I'm off. I'll catch up with you in a bit. Well, I've discovered a slight issue with hand holding. That means I can't really do my video because I'm holding the camera. Yeah, this may never see the light of day, you realise. I don't know. Let me just flip you around a sec. Now, I've shot a couple of these puddles. You might just make out that one there. That's quite a nice shape. And I got some of the background in, which you're not going to make out on here, just catching a bit of side light on the tops there. The thing that caught my eye here is this one. And again, you're not going to make it out because I'm shooting, the sun is directly there. We've got this little pool of water that comes in and then it goes round in a very subtle S shape. I thought, that just kind of works. It's there, but it's not there. Yeah, I know, I could be talking twaddle, couldn't I? But yes, so what I'm going to do is, every time I find a composition, I'll stop and I'll talk you through it. And that's about all I can do. Should we take bets on sunset colour? It'd be really nice if we did get some. And I think, you'll really not see this one. There's a couple of boats there, and about there is the buoy, and I think there's water coming up behind that. Can't believe how quick it comes in at this place. Right, I best get trapping. Well, having said I'd stop and talk to you, I haven't bothered. I've just been having fun. I've no idea if the images are any good. I've a thought in my mind as to how I want them to turn out. And because it's something I've never done before, I've just no concept of whether they're actually going to work. But it's fun trying. The Mr. Sun has now dropped behind that humongous bank of cloud over there. We might get a little bit of pink lighting up on that cloud, that high level cloud, possibly. If we do, it's going to be a quick swap over to the 17 to 55, and I'm going to stay here because the water is now getting the reflection from the sky and the hint of colour that's up there. The one I've just been shooting is this one, and I skated out to about there and shot that one leading up to the next one. No sky in it, just an abstract pattern, white pattern on a black background. Yeah, I think I might have lost the plot. I really think I've lost the plot. Let's say it makes sense in my head. So I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes to see if that cloud is going to light up, because if it is, I'm going to bang the 17 to 55 on. There is a composition here. This one here, it's like a kidney shape going out. And that's picking up the sky quite nicely. That's all, folks. For one fleeting moment, I thought the sky was going to light up. There's some fabulous clouds up there, which would normally catch the sun. But I think that bank of cloud on the horizon is just too thick. Hey ho. Can't I do it? It's not raining. Be grateful for small mercies. So today, yes, maybe, I'm not sure. I'll have to see what it's like. There's going to be processing to do to them, quite a bit of processing to get the finished article. Am I disappointed that I didn't get the shot that I wanted? Yes. But I'm not disappointed. Cloud up there's beginning to light up. There's a sliver. It's that bit. No, it's not, it's that one. Just catching a bit of pink. There's nothing to write home about, but it's there. Yay! Yeah, it's been an interesting afternoon. Looking for something less obvious, something that I hadn't come out to shoot. As I say, whether they work or not is anyone's guess. But you have to try things, because otherwise you'll never know. And I've just seen one more. Because the water is reflecting the sky, so it's really, really bright, and the mud is ridiculously dark. It's a very graphic scene. If you don't hear from me next weekend, they've seen this video and carted me off to the funny farm. Hey, right, that's it. As I say, no B-roll, because Muppet here forgot to charge her gimbal. Actually, no, I tell a lie, I had charged it, but just a long while ago. And no real talking about the images, because I've been doing handheld shots. I've been shooting anywhere from f2.8 to f6. I've had my ISO at 320. I've been keeping the shutter speed around about between 1/200th of a second and 1/160th of a second. I can push it a little bit with the 70 to 200 because it's got image stabilization. I was shooting anywhere between 200mm and about 135mm. Yeah, interesting. Right, that's it. I'm going to go home and wash my ridiculously dirty shoes. I'm hoping I've got a clean pair of shoes in the car that I can drive home in. Oh, because otherwise the inside of the van's going to get mucky. Have a good weekend. Thanks for watching.